Thanks again. Thanks again for doing this, dude. This is awesome. I'm really excited to hear what you got to say. So, yeah, man, how's everything going with you?
Good, good. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Everything's going good, still busy, still training, right,
Nice.
working with the family and trying to balance everything out, like always.
Yeah, and that's the tough part, right? Like
Yeah.
balancing all the training, extracurricular activities, and then I actually see that you do a lot of I just seen the video of the Manteca lighting. I did see a lot of
hmm
videos with Sensei Jason, which
hmm
is really cool. Man, like how do you have time for all this, man? That's awesome.
Time management. I try and manage my time as much as I could. We all have the same 24 hours, right? So
Hmm.
if I can sit down and say I'm going to do this from this time and this from this time, and I just work off of my calendar really well. All right, I try to, anyways.
Nice, yeah, man, and it's all on the time management as far as getting things done and having that discipline to be like, at this time I got to make sure I do this, or else the rest of my day can be off, and it feels that way sometimes when you're off by a few minutes too, like especially with traffic. I don't know if you
Yeah,
get that I don't know if you get that deal, but sometimes traffic could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. You never know, man. But
yeah,
it's all about thinking positive after that fact. Like,
yeah, right.
whatever.
Yeah, no.
Moving on from there.
Yeah, I look at it more as like it's just a structure or guideline for my day. Things are going to go left or right.
Hmm.
We can't really control
Yeah.
everything that gets thrown our way, but
Hmm.
you can do the best you can if you have your baseline already set up.
Nice. And with controlling, you do jujitsu. I know you do jujitsu. You're a freaking badass blue belt. I've gotten tapped out by you so many times when I first started, so I would know single handedly. I do know and I do see that you are an awesome realtor as well. You're a really good guy. You talk to a lot of people around. You also share your thoughts on things, and I do see a lot of fundraisers that you do as well. You share them
hmm
and everything, and that's a really cool thing to the community. Being able to do all that.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do all that as far as like your jujitsu, your work, and with your time management?
hmm
Do you incorporate that as well?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So everything I do, I manage it based off my calendar, basically. So I know I try to schedule things as far out as I can, put them on the calendar, and then that way I can work around that, right? So I have like my training schedule that's on there. I try
Mhm.
not to book appointments around them. That way you got to keep taking care of yourself, right? So.
Mhm.
I always try and keep that consistent schedule, or as much as I can, anyways, to keep training. Plus, it's something that I like to do. I enjoy training. Um, it's like, and you really get into something when you don't do it, you feel off, right? So like
Mhm.
that to me is like how I stay consistent and stay feeling good and keep going and gives me energy.
Nice. And as far as your training, so you're a blue belt, and how is that? How was your experience with starting as far as being that white belt that walked in? Like how do you take that?
Yeah. When I first started training, I it's hard. It's tough going in there.
Oh
You got to
yeah,
definitely humble
definitely.
yourself, or you'll get humbled pretty quick, right?
Very, very quick.
When I first started training, I was doing kind of powerlifting thing and bodybuilding before that, just amateur, just for myself, never competed or
Hmm.
anything. But going in, I was like 220 pounds, fresh off a shoulder surgery, and I needed to change up kind of what I was doing because I felt like I was just keep injuring myself and things like that. So I decided to go into something that has a lot more injuries, I guess. So,
Yeah, right.
but
Yeah, why not? Let's do something safer, right? let's
no,
get
but
let's get injured some more.
with like when I went in, I was a bigger guy, so I was able to kind of hold
Hmm.
my own. But I've definitely lost a lot of weight through training, and I felt like being that big wasn't really good for me. So I slimmed down and
Yeah.
just eat kind of a regular healthy diet now and train all the time. But back to your question, going in, yeah, definitely. It's a humbling experience because I had, John Montoya.
Hmm.
He was a
Yep.
blue belt when I started, and he's like 120 pounds or something like that.
Yeah,
And he
he's
was,
great, man. He's
he
good.
was freaking tapping me out left and right. And so I was like, I
Hmm.
have to figure out whatever this is that he's doing. Like, I need to know this, because if this
It's
little
cool.
guy can, throw me around and manhandle me like that, like, I have to learn how to do that to other people.
Yeah, right. It's a very humbling experience, right?
Yes.
Because you really don't realize how much of like a rag doll you feel when you're moving all around and you're turning and you're all like, I'm not even intending on doing that. For some reason, he just got me to do that, and he's not even trying. He's not even breaking a sweat yet.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, like rolling with black belts. Rolling with black belts, man. That's what that's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Uh, in my case, rolling with a lot of people above me right now, so I'm still getting the hang of it. But I mean, it's fun, man. I really like it. That's where I met you. I met you in Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai over at Cortez Full Circle, so that was really good.
Hmm.
You've actually taught me a lot in both. I sparred with you a lot, and I didn't really have a background where it was really violent as a such to where I would get in fist fights all the time. So it's like I was never really, you know, uh, but even then, I always had that's like scared feeling of like, you know what, I don't even want to fight. That's not my thing. It was never like that. But as soon as I really realized what it was like, it's that feeling that you get of that calmness where you're all like, I am a beast. I am a monster. Like I'm just not showing it. I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
And when I started doing Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, you learn more about yourself that you're more capable of doing. And that just makes you less scared as to what you
Yeah.
can do next.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
it's really humbling and it's really cool, and makes you even go away from the fight. It makes you not
Yeah.
want to fight.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's what I
why
was
would I
gonna
want to do
say.
this?
Yeah. I'd say
Hmm.
before I started training, I was probably a lot more likely to get into a fight with someone. I was like young and,
Hmm.
hot headed, but after I started training martial arts, you don't really, it kind of deters you from that, because I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Like, I don't need to prove anything to you. I have the confidence that I need. Go ahead and meet me out in the street. I'll go ahead and meet you out there, and then take off.
Right? Yeah, man. It's that's a badass thing to do, man. If you could just stay calm in that situation, that's badass, man. Because a lot of people can't hold their emotions, and that's
Yeah,
when things go wrong, you know.
yeah,
But if you can stand there and be like, 6 months ago, I would have been all over this, but just within the last 6 months, I just realized that improvement. Like that's a good feeling, the improvement. And with being a blue belt, it's because you've made improvements along your way, and someone has seen that. Your sensei has seen that, and you've been awarded, and that's awesome. It's a good
yeah.
feeling, when you move up on that. And how was your experience going from white to blue? Did you feel that like switch where you're like, I'm a blue belt, I'm a
No,
blue belt?
no, not at all. I felt like when I got it, I felt like I deserved it. I was there, and I could hold my own, and at least tap out most of the blue belts, or keep up with them at least. So once I got there, I felt like towards the end of the white belt, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready. Now I'm like blue belt closer to purple now, and I'm like,
Hmm.
now it's different though, because I feel like I'm not ready to be a purple belt at all.
Not.
Yeah.
It's
you
like the
know?
higher you go, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Um,
humbler it gets.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You could be a really good brown belt, and then you see that guy Kolabate, blue belt, who's
Yeah,
just taking everybody out right now in
yeah.
ADCC, and who's number one, and he's young, man, so he's still got a long, long way to go, and that's really cool seeing all that. When did you actually start jiu-jitsu? Like, how old were you?
Um, so I started training like consistently
Hmm.
about 3 or 4 years ago. I trained like off and on with random people when I was in the military, and they would teach me things here and there. And we had like, there's a Marine Corps martial arts program where there's some little bit of like jujitsu integrated in there. You learn different
Hmm.
positions, guard and mount, and things like that. So I didn't go into it completely fresh. I had some knowledge of different positions and how to fight
Okay.
really.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't like super soft or anything, right? So I knew I could be aggressive, and I could control people for the most part, but um, yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. And then, in case nobody knew out there. You know, Jeff was actually in our military. So thank you for your service, man.
Oh,
Thank you
thanks,
so
bro.
much for that. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that,
Thanks for paying taxes.
Um, yeah, right. There we go. Yeah, my sister as well. She's actually just getting back from Virginia. She's in the Navy, so she's
Oh,
just
nice.
getting back, and you know, we appreciate you guys all the time
Yeah,
at
thanks,
all
brother.
costs, man. It's an unpayable debt, man. So thank you.
Thanks.
But that's cool. You said in the Marines there was a certain training where you had those positions that you learned and that actually helped you out when you started jujitsu, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure there's a bunch of Marines that are listening right
Nice.
now, and they're like laughing because it's kind of a joke in the Marine Corps, like the Marine Corps martial arts program, honestly. Because
Uh-huh.
the program itself is not bad, but the problem is that nobody trains it consistently, right? So
That
the
makes
way it
sense.
works
Yeah.
is you go to these courses, and it's like a week course, right? And then you get your belt after the course,
Mm-hmm.
but then you stop training after that. So it's like, yeah, you learn these
Uh,
moves, but you don't really know how to implement them in real life, in a real situation. Like
unless you
it's, yeah,
hmm
you gotta keep training and keep learning those moves.
consistently,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's the thing, being
Yeah.
consistent, and that's the whole thing. It's just showing up, man.
Hmm.
The more you show up, the more you'll learn about yourself, and that's what's great. And then it's a long journey. It's a long journey, but it's a great one.
Yeah. It's
Um,
definitely a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long, long race.
uh, yeah, and then sometimes even along the race, man, it's always good to park, stand to the side, and kind of enjoy the view for a second.
Yeah.
It's always good for that. And
I like to keep moving. So maybe I'll just walk and then kind of enjoy the view as I'm
yeah,
walking.
right. Kind of get a nice little, a guy's nice little Olympic pace,
Yeah.
nice little walk.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So how did it incorporate as far as when you were in the military, now doing jujitsu, and a realtor? So not only are you showing houses, but you could choke dudes out. And something that's been going around a lot is as far as this whole inflation stuff and houses going up. Something I do see a lot though is I see a lot of people saying, I'm going to wait to buy a house until the market crashes. I'm going to wait to buy a house until I do this. I'm going to wait until I buy a house until, in a few years it's going to drop. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Like, I know it is.
Yeah.
From your standpoint, do you hear this often? Like, do you see a lot of people just
Yeah. It's every
make
day.
excuses?
Um, yeah, it's
Mm.
every day for sure. If I had a crystal ball and I knew exactly when the market was going to crash, I'd be a millionaire, right? But nobody really
Oh, yeah,
knows.
definitely.
Nobody really
Hmm.
knows what's going to happen. Economists don't even know, what's going to go on with the market. They have predictions and their estimations, but anything you look up, you can Google it right now. Yeah, the market's going to
Hmm.
crash tomorrow. Or you can Google it and it's never going to
Yeah,
crash,
right.
So
Yeah.
um, but what I tell people, everyone's different, right? Your situation's
Hmm.
all different. If you're renting a home right now and say you're renting for like $2,000 a month, right? And you want to wait 6 months or a year, we'll say, for the market to crash, you're going to pay 24 grand over that year in rent. And
Wow.
that money could be going towards your equity in your own home. And
Hmm.
then specifically, like right now in this market that we're in, the Fed is going to raise interest rates another 3 times this year. So now, not only are you wasting $24,000 paying someone else's mortgage, but when it comes time and you say, okay, I'm ready to buy a home, um, now the interest rates have gone up to 5, 6%. Right now, the home that you
Hmm.
could have afforded with, before, say you were qualified for 500,000 at like a 4% interest rate. Now the interest rates are 6. Now you only qualify for like 400,000, right?
Hmm.
So you lose a lot of value based off that interest rate increase, and then also you're not getting the benefit of that monthly mortgage payment going and building equity for yourself and building
For your
wealth,
house,
yeah,
yeah.
for yourself and your family. And you don't get
Hmm.
the tax benefits, right, of writing those things off in your taxes. And you get to live under someone else's roof. It's not yours. So
Yeah.
there's a kind of a not a famous saying, but someone says a lot. It's not a good idea to day trade real estate. Real estate is a long-term
Mm.
investment.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
there's no, you can't buy in quick and sell out quick, right? It's not a very liquid asset like that. So trying to
Mm.
time the market, it's usually never a good idea, and it doesn't work out for most people.
That's a really good saying. I've actually never heard of that, but I can see how that would play out with the whole day trading and with the real estate
Yeah.
market. But that's it's very interesting. And going more into a little bit more into the real estate. So I do have you on Facebook, and I do see that you also have a workshop. So
Hmm.
what's this workshop about?
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you asked that.
Awesome.
So once a month, my lender partner and I, we host a virtual homebuyer workshop. So what we do is we talk about how to qualify for a loan, what goes into the pre-qualification or pre-approval process, what you can expect once you get pre-approved, and then moving forward, like shopping for a home, journeying through the escrow process. We go over everything for you. So if you're new to home buying, you've never bought a home, or if you even if you have, it's always good to have that knowledge of what to expect up front before you jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we do these to try and educate home buyers as much as we can. I like working with people who are a little bit more educated and understand the process. And I like to do that up front with all my clients as well. But this allows people who maybe are in the super early stages, who are still building their credit, or maybe don't have the work history yet to qualify. They can still start the process of buying a home early by
Mm-hmm.
starting to educate yourself and learning what goes into it. And that way you can best position yourself to buy when you are ready.
Wow, so it's very informational. Is there like a monthly subscription to this, or
It's
like do I
free,
gotta
completely free. So
free?
yeah, so all you got to do, it's on my
Look at
Facebook. We have
that.
we have an Eventbrite set up as well, so you can go on there. And all you do is sign up, and then we'll send you the link. It's over Zoom, and it's once a month. We usually do it on the last Thursday of the month, um, except around a few holidays. We moved it around to accommodate for that, but it's usually around 5:30
Okay.
p.m. And if you can't make those, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll get you set up for like a one-on-one. No charge. It's completely free for everyone.
Look at that. And it's crazy because it's literally free information. And it's not only free, but it's information on how you can invest your money into making an even a bigger investment out of it,
Yeah,
a home is a big investment. That is a
yeah.
very big investment in
It's
my opinion.
probably the largest investment most people will ever make, for sure.
Mhm. Because you're not just buying the house; it's the property itself, right?
Hmm.
It's the little area there,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. Well, I think something like 90% of generational wealth is built through real estate. So,
Through real estate.
that's what I tell people, buy a home. Buying a home is not just for yourself, it's for your kids, for your kids'
Hmm.
kids. You can buy that property and hold it and keep it in the family for long term. I mean, you're only
Hmm.
building wealth down the line for the rest of your family, right? Especially if you're going
Oh
to
yeah,
pay, you have to
definitely.
pay to live somewhere, right? And you might as
You
well
do,
pay
yeah.
yourself.
Anywhere,
Yeah.
yeah. You're gonna be paying anywhere,
Hmm.
anywhere you go, even if it's a couch in somebody's house. Airbnbs. Whatever it is, you're gonna be paying. You're gonna be paying something, whether it's
Yep.
your time or your money.
Yep.
It's gonna be like that, and it's might as well use that time and money for something for yourself. To continue doing and growing for yourself,
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
all it is, man. Life's about you, man. Life's about what you're gonna do and how you grow from that. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that that there's actual things around us, literal things like houses, cars, and all that stuff that we put investments in. And some people say cars are bad investments. Some people say houses are bad investments. So a lot of people have their own different views on it, and
Hmm.
but I mean, as far as opinions, what do you think about when people think? Because I've actually had a friend ask me about this, and I was like, I'm not a realtor, but I will ask one. So, so give me a second. So there's a lot of pictures and memes that go around where they say, oh, my grandma bought a house in 1920 for 20 grand. And now it's worth over $3 billion, and I can't buy a house now because they're worth $300,000. So, think they have a point? Is there a point there, or is there?
There's absolutely a point, but there's nothing we can do about it. The
Mhm.
market is what the market is, right? The only thing we can do is adjust and try and make it benefit us in any way we can, right? So if that
Mhm.
means, taking a step back and buying a one bedroom, one bath studio and starting there, and then building equity, selling that, and then moving up to another home later on, then, that's what we have to do. Unfortunately, our generation, yeah, we are have to deal with all this inflation,
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous real estate prices. And
Oh,
I'm in the
yeah.
same boat. Just because I'm in the industry doesn't mean I get a discount on people's homes. You know,
Right.
I still gotta pay the same prices. But you know, it is what it is. I hate to say that, but you know, that is the market that
Mm-hmm.
we're in. Those are the prices. And you know, unfortunately, and well, fortunately, I don't foresee any like housing market crash coming anytime soon, like we did in 2007, 2008. You know, the
Yeah, that
conditions that
was
caused that are not present anymore, right? So
as of right now. Yeah.
yeah, so you know, that's what I would say to that. Yeah, it is unfortunate, and yeah, they were lucky that they were able to be in that time and space. But right now, this is where we're at, and the only thing we can do is figure it out, right? So, me, I don't feel like there's any sense in complaining about it. You know, grandma can't go back and change time, and can't sell you the house, or, you know,
Yeah.
that she
Right.
had, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
you know, the only thing we can do is move forward and figure out how we can make it happen.
And how did you get this mindset? How did you get this mindset on all this? Was it always there since you were a kid, out the womb, always thinking forward?
No, I mean, I definitely learned a lot growing up, you know, from my experiences and everything. But a lot of it, you know, is just kind of one from the military. You know, I have a pretty good mindset of, you know, I've been through some pretty not great situations, and you know, you just have to have a positive mindset. There's a saying that, you know, we say positive mental attitude, PMA, um, and just having that positive attitude going through. Can I cuss on here? Shitty situations.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, go
All
for
right,
it, bro.
cool.
Go for it. Do what you got to do, man.
Just going through like shitty situations, you know, fucked up scenarios. It's like
Yeah.
you have to have a good mindset, or else it's going to break you. If you have a shitty mindset, that shitty situation is going to take you down, right? But if you have
Hmm.
a good mindset about it and saying, you know, hey, this is just one moment in time. It's not going to be like this forever. And just keep putting one foot in front of the other and go in the right direction, then it'll pass.
And that's that's deep, man. But it's true. You know,
Hmm.
it's taking that next step forward, even when you're at your lowest. You know, because
Yeah.
every time you reach your lowest, you know, you're always going to be one step ahead. You know, when you feel down, you're all like, you know, I'm never going to get this low again, never going to get this low again. 6 months later, something happens and you're all like, I'm feeling shitty, but you know, I got to keep moving forward. And
Yeah.
you're never going to be down at that step because you know before you've made that step. So I'm
Hmm.
glad to hear that you've learned along the way, and um, I've actually learned a lot from you too with rolling with you. I learn from every one of my roles, and I'll say that all the time because there's times where I walk in very humbled, and I'm like, all these guys can kill me. But then there's some days where I'm like, you know what, I've been doing this, you know, I got this, and then you
Hmm.
know, then I don't got this, and then I
Yeah.
don't got this, you know,
Yeah.
and it happens, and that's how life can hit us in the face. Is there anything that you learned as far as your mindset in the military that has helped you outside?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Most of it, I'd say, is one, just having that positive mental attitude in all situations. You know, one big thing that I learned is
Yeah.
fake it till you make it, man. You know, having
Right.
false motivation is a lot better than no motivation, right? So if you can
At all.
just fake it and go through it, you'll see that it it will help you. You know, having
Hmm.
that even if you don't really feel it inside, and just portraying that, you know, that motivation and that confidence from the outside, it'll help you push through that situation and how you feel inside. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I get down too. I
Yeah.
have my moments where I feel like, you know, I'm I'm not doing as well as I could, or I failed here, or I failed there, you know. But having that like mental check, and people that you surround yourself with too,
Hmm.
to help kind of push you and be like, hey, get off your ass, quit feeling sorry for yourself. You know, that helps me out a lot. I have a great, you know, wife. She helps me out all the time. She notices
That's how
when
it
I'm
is.
not
Yep.
doing well. You know, she'll smack me on the back of the head and you know, hey, stop.
Snap out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snap out of it, man. Snap out of it. And that's awesome. sometimes your best teammates aren't officially, in the team, but they're in your team, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They may not be, if you're in a soccer team, they may not be your goalkeeper, but they're for sure sitting on the sideline making sure that you're okay. And that's the best part. That's awesome. I respect that, man. I definitely respect that. Overcoming losses, man, like losing. And, I do know that you do I do know that you do a lot of competitions. I see that you're always getting your hand raised. How is that when you don't get your hand raised? Because I know for myself, that's a very, it's a very humbling experience. But you get your hand raised. So how do you feel, man, when you go into the game, into the mindset that you're like, I'm competing. Like, as soon as you start, man, how does that? You switch a switch or what?
I mean, so in competition, I'm super competitive, right? And like I said, I can be very aggressive on the mat, and so when I go in there, absolutely, I have that mindset. I'm there to rip someone's head off. I'm not, no joke. Like, I'm going in and I'm gonna win
legally.
Yeah,
legally.
But on the topic of loss, like I've lost too. Like my last tournament was the Jiu-Jitsu World League. I got put to sleep. And
what?
Yes. And,
whoa.
It was not. It was. It pissed me off even more because I was winning. I was winning the match. I was winning on points. I was controlling the match, and then he snuck in. I was passing his guard, and he snuck in a nice little baseball choke and rolled over. And I thought I won. That was when I.
You got up and you won.
I went out.
That's a hell of a way to win.
I know. I went out, and then they woke me up. And when I woke up, I thought that they were just resetting us, like in the center of the mat. And I got up, and I walked over there, and I started like, squaring up with him again. And they're like, "Whoa, no, you lost. You went to sleep, dude." And I was like, It took me a minute to get back to reality.
Like, oh man, like, dang, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And so that was definitely a humbling experience, and it kind of hurt for a few days. But it is what it is. Like I'm not competing as a career or anything like that. Like I enjoy it. I just do it because I enjoy it. So if I lose, like, it's not that big of a deal to me. It doesn't affect my career in any way. It's hurts, right? Hurts my pride a little bit, especially telling people I got put to sleep, but
hey man, hey, I'm sure you can put somebody to sleep. So don't even worry about that, man.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure somebody will get put to sleep by you. I'm pretty sure. I've single-handedly rolled with you. So,
but
a random guy on the street's not going to have a chance.
No, I'm not too worried about that. But just that experience was super humbling, and overcoming that loss just internally was a little tough, but you just had to get me. I was on the mat the next week, rolling again, and laughing about it because that's kind of how I process emotions. I just joke about it and make fun of myself.
Yeah, right. Might as well. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Yeah. What else is there to do, man? It's like I'd rather laugh than cry.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right. But damn, that's awesome, man. And trust me, it's very, very humbling because I believe it was my second tournament. I did a Subs on the Shore in Sacramento. And, it was at 10th Planet Sacramento, which is awesome. I love that place. I've gone there for their open mats, and they're dope, man. They're awesome, good people. You should definitely roll with them, man. They're good people. Albert's really cool.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. And I came in and I was ready. It was a really humbling experience as far as even a weight loss, because it's actually the lowest I was ever. I weighed in at 163. So that's the lowest I've ever been. I've always been over 200 pounds. So it's like, I know what you mean by that difference in weight. So it's like, it was a big achievement. Even though I lost my first match in like 20 seconds, I got straight ankled, and like, it was, I don't know what it was, but, it was only my second tournament. But not making any excuses, going to just keep hitting the mats until I can get it right. And, it's something, man, when you walk in there and it doesn't take long for somebody else to do something to you, and you're like, holy crap, man, like, I'm trying to get there. I want to do that. That's what I'm going to do. So I got to get back to the gym, and now I got to keep going until I can do that. And when I can do that, I want to keep doing some more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite submission that you've hit in competition?
I mean, in competition, I've only really gotten triangles, arm bars.
Mm-hmm.
I've only done gi, so I haven't done no gi competitions yet. I'd like to. I've been getting more and
Nogi.
more into no gi lately,
Mm-hmm.
and we're starting to integrate it a lot more at the gym too. So which is nice. We've been working a lot of the
Awesome.
legs and stuff. My favorite submission personally is going to be the leg lace. I tend to hit that one a lot.
Yes.
I get into that position. I find it a lot from different positions. So I
Mm-hmm.
really like that one. Actually, I would say the my favorite that I hit in competition would be the Darce. Darce choke is
Oh, nice.
one of my favorites. Another one that I find myself in getting in that position a lot and finding it. And I have a few setups from like different positions that I like to try as well. So that'd be my
Nice.
favorite one for sure.
The Darce, right?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. That's actually the choke I lost to in my first match.
Oh, really?
I lost to in my first match. I lost to a Darce, man. The guy got me in a freaking Darce, and I couldn't move. I'm actually really cool with the guy now. I'm really cool with the guy. He gave me his Instagram. We started talking out, and he's going to be on this podcast talking about his experience too. So
Nice.
hopefully you'll get to hear from him too, man. It's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, so I took that Darce, went back to the gym, told my coaches I need to work on my Darce, man. Like I got locked in it, and my coaches did a very good job, and they've helped me out with that. And then sometimes when I get into a Darce now, my main focus right now is like, okay, what they taught me, I'm going to use this. Like, let me see what I can do. And I've been kind of seeing myself, get out of it here and there. Sometimes I do intend to tap, which is okay. Which is the next question. When was that? When was that thought in your head that you're like, nah, man, like I'm never gonna tap. I'm not gonna tap, man. Like, when did you have that when you first started, or did you already come in kind of humbled about like, if I'm choked, I'm choked. I gotta tap. As far as when you started.
I think even till this day, I still push it a little bit too far sometimes, but
Yeah, right. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
I should probably be tapping a little bit earlier, but I don't know. I have the mindset that I always want to win, and in training it's different because we're all kind of working on something, but
Mhm.
with live roles, I still want to win. I still want to.
That's that warrior mindset, man.
Yeah.
You gotta win, and that's a warrior mindset, man. You gotta get it on. You gotta get it while you can, and you gotta win.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
And I like to try and if you're in a bad position too, and a lot of times like if I'm rolling with white belts or newer guys, I'll try and put myself in a bad position, right, and let them get a rear naked or let them get an arm bar or something like that, and see how long I can defend it or get out of it or escape or something like that. So sometimes I get myself, my pride kicks in a little bit, like, no, I can't let this white belt arm bar me, even though I gave him my
gave
arm,
it to him.
I'm not gonna let it happen.
Yeah, right.
So sometimes I push it a little bit too far, maybe there, someone has me locked in, but for the most part, I try and keep my pride in check and tap because I don't want to injure myself, and I'm not there to
injury, man.
Yeah.
Injury.
I'm
That's
31 now, and the joints in the back and the knees are starting to catch up on me, So
at 30 years old, huh?
Yeah.
Already asking for a new back. Well, I'm only 24, but I wouldn't mind one for myself. I think it's the mattress, though. This mattress is horrible, man.
Definitely not really getting bent like a pretzel every day.
Oh, well, that too. That'll have an effect on your back for sure. It's like, oh man, I got back pain, dude. You're only 24. It's like, yeah, but I train about 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, my back's 72 though.
There it is. Yeah. See, yeah, your back, your knees are different ages, and then your mind's a different age, your heart's a different age, But man, that's something, huh? Mm-hmm. But and as far as everything being a different age, how do you do it? How do you do your nutrition? Because everything's a different age, but because of what we feed ourselves.
Yeah.
As far as to my understanding. So, what do you do as far as nutrition? Do you have like a certain meal plan, or because you're ripped, dude? You're a big dude. You're swole, man. When I stand next to you, I'm like, man, dude, I'm gonna get my ass kicked for sure, man.
No.
But yeah, so
right now, honestly, I got to be honest. I've not been the greatest with my nutrition and plan and feeding my body like I should. Before, when I was powerlifting and bodybuilding, and in the early stage, maybe until about like 6 months or a year ago, I kind of fell off on my meal plan and stuff. But it's still one of the big things for me is like I eat a really good breakfast every day. So like
Mm.
every day I have a little bit of sausage, some hash browns, and 3 eggs. That's like literally every day. It doesn't change. And then normally what I would do is I would normally meal prep for the week. So I basically just plain chicken and rice.
Mm.
You know, when I was doing powerlifting and stuff, I would eat chicken and rice like 4 times a day.
Yeah, right. Chicken
Now,
and rice. That's the deal
now,
right there. Chicken and rice,
yeah,
guys.
now I just, you know, I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner like a normal person. I'm not like training to be, you know, big lifts or anything like that. So I don't really need to fuel as much protein or anything like that anymore. But I still like to eat clean, eat healthy. I try and stay away from like, I don't drink soda really. Once in a blue moon, I'll
Mm.
have a soda, mainly water. Um, just really just try and keep everything that I put in my body just clean. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect, you know, person, and I eat junk food sometimes.
Oh, dude,
Um,
don't we all?
you know, but for the most part, I say 80% of the time, I'm eating pretty healthy.
Oh, that's good,
Yeah.
man. That's good, and that's a big deal. You know, staying healthy, and it's a lot harder than most people intend for it to think. You know, it's
Hmm.
like, oh, I could just eat a bunch of garbage that's not really garbage, but it tastes good. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, but it's like you got to really watch out what you eat because it's not exactly going to be beneficial for you as far as what you do throughout your day. You know, you feel that energy throughout the day. You feel the tiredness. You feel, and it could be a lot from what you eat. You know, if you're eating
Hmm.
shitty all day, man, you're going to feel shitty all day for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
I've I've definitely had those days, man, where I've ate like shit, and then the following day I wake up and like you get those bubble guts. You just you don't feel good. The food's stuck in your throat, and you're like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you start going back to your habits, it starts getting you feel the difference, and
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yeah. I
Definitely
try
feel
and
the
just
difference.
keep everything, you know, my kind of philosophy with my diet is just keep everything as simple as possible, right? So like
Okay.
if I'm gonna eat, you know, a meal, it's rice, a vegetable, and a protein, right? I'm not like eating, I don't know, these things that have all these additives and sugars and things like that, and I just like one protein, one veggie, one carb, and try and just keep it like that. And you know, to me, that works out pretty well. But when you start like eating like cheeseburgers and pizza and these things with all these different things in them and oils and
Hmm.
stuff like that, you know, you really don't know what you're eating, and
Yeah.
you don't know what's in
No.
it. So to me, I just try and keep it as simple as possible and eat as clean as possible. It's super boring, but it helps. It works.
Yeah. Hey, hey, man, you got to make it look. You got to make it look pretty. You got to make it gourmet, and then a little bit of eggs and avocado all of a sudden looks like a 5-star
Yeah,
meal.
yeah, I
You got to
guess.
make it look nice, right? Yeah, it is what it is, man. But I mean, that's good to stay healthy, man. That's a really important thing, man. Staying healthy, and
Yeah,
that's something that I had to learn the hard way too, man. It was tough when I used to drink beer, man. I used to drink a lot of beer.
yeah,
Beer was my thing, man. Like
yeah.
those tall cans.
Hmm.
I'd get the 3-pack of Modelo like every day after work, and I'll have one. When I get home, I'll keep 2 in the fridge. It was bad, man. I drank a lot of beer and started noticing that gut forming, and I'm like, I'm not even eating a lot. Like, how's this happening?
Hmm.
I didn't know. But then the more research you do, man, the more you find out, and you're like, holy crap! Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of other stuff other than just food that can make me a lot bigger than what
yeah.
I
You should just switch to tequila. It's much better.
am. That's all I have in my fridge, man. Tequila and whiskey.
There you
Tequila and
go.
whiskey. Yeah, you gotta have that tequila and whiskey with some pineapple juice.
Oh,
That's
I
what we
never had
drink. Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Tequila,
dude.
whiskey, and pineapple juice.
Oh no, not mix the three. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
okay.
No, I mix the whiskey with the pineapple juice. I
Ooh,
use the
gotcha.
Buchanan's. We say
Okay.
Buchanan's, but I guess it's pronounced Buchanan's, which I didn't know. But you use Buchanan's and you put some pineapple juice in there, and man,
Okay. All right. I'll
yeah,
have
if
to
you got
try
some.
that.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it may look a little girly. That's what I hear every time I post it. Like, hey man, that's a
Yeah.
girly drink. Well, it's a good drink, bro. It's a good drink. That's what it is. It's a good drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what else can you tell me more about as far as your jiu-jitsu journey? So tell me more. How was it like getting your first choke? Like when you first started? Do you remember?
When I first tapped someone out, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, right.
I think it probably took me at least like a month going in there and just getting strangled by everyone. When I
Hmm.
started, I was like one of the only white belts in the gym. So everyone else was a blue belt or purple, brown. We had one black belt that wasn't sensei in there. And so I was the absolute lowest guy on the totem pole at that point.
Mm.
So I was getting strangled and just roughed up all the
Yeah,
time,
right.
And so when I finally got someone, it felt good. Like I was super proud of myself, but it felt good to know that there's progression happening, even though it doesn't feel like
Mm.
it, like you're getting your ass
Yeah.
kicked every day. But when you get someone and you find yourself in that position and you're able to execute it, then it definitely felt really good. I don't remember exactly who it was or what choke I got, but I know that when I first finally tapped someone out, I was like, that was the point when I was like, okay, like this is working for me. I'm learning. Because before, that first month is just like you don't feel like you're
Mm.
learning anything. Like you're learning, you're understanding things, but when you go live rolls, you just feel like a fish out of water, right? Because you're just
Oh yeah,
getting
dude. No,
tossed
you really
around.
do. You
Yeah.
yeah, freaking all over the place, man. It feels weird, but I
Yeah.
mean, the less you feel that way when you're up there, the more you start to realize that you're like, man, I'm really keeping control.
Hmm.
I'm really starting to get the hang of this. And that's what's really cool because, another big reason on why I started this podcast is especially for those white belts that are out there that are really thinking to themselves only like 2 months in, like this isn't for me because I keep getting strangled. I keep getting strangled and I keep getting strangled. But then here you are saying the same exact thing that when you started, you did get strangled all the
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
But then now you're a blue belt getting close to your purple belt and your mindset's grown. You've gone and you've done these competitions and you're stepping out of these things and you're doing it, which is really cool because you had that same thought. You came in and you were getting choked out all the time, like how you said, right?
Hmm.
Whole month you're getting choked and choked and choked, and yeah, man. And it's a big thing, man. I saw a post where it said that like 80 or 90% of white belts really never really move on to blue belt. And there's
Hmm.
a really small percentages of blue belts that continue on to go to purple belt as well.
Yeah.
And from what jujitsu has taught me, that's why I started this. I want to be able to express that, get different people's opinions on how that goes, so we can be able to get more people to keep going. The more people we can get into, and even if it's not jujitsu, because there's different hobbies, there's different things that also do the same exact thing. It's all really just on the consistency.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all staying it. If you want to draw, if you want to be an artist, if you draw one day and then never draw for a couple months, you're not going to draw, the same couple months later.
Yeah.
But then if you stay consistent with it for who knows, within the next year, you're going to be selling paintings.
Yeah.
You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? So it's the consistency of keep going.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what you did.
Absolutely.
And look where you're at now, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. One of the things that I took away from one of the guys that when I first started training there was I think you might have met him, Don. He was a purple belt when I started training there.
Hmm.
Super big dude. He's a police officer, like badass dude, right?
Oh, okay.
Um, and one of the things he told me like early on was you need to learn how to defend first before you start attacking. I was like super trying to be aggressive, push forward, get a submission. But he was like, you need to slow down and you need to learn how to defend yourself. Once you learn how to defend yourself and you can not get choked out and not get submitted, then you can start working on transitioning and attacking, right? And
Hmm.
that was like really big for me because I was like, okay, yeah, let me take that and let me just try and survive, right? So I would go into those matches, those first, roles, um, when I first started training, and would just try and survive, right? I'm just trying to defend. I'm trying not to get choked out. I'm not really trying to attack or get a submission right now. I just want to learn how to defend so I don't get submitted. And that helped
Hmm.
me with my progression a lot.
Learning to defend
Yeah.
before you attack,
Yeah. Yeah.
getting the feel for it. I mean, hey, if you're that confident, man, you could literally how you could sit down, you could pull guard, you could do whatever you want because
Hmm.
your guard's not going to get past, or even if your guard gets past, you're ready to do what's next. And that's
Hmm.
move yourself around and get out of the situation that you're in. But
Yeah.
you're very calm because you've already got the hang of it, and that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Um, What about pressuring? What's your take on that?
I pressure a lot, especially when I'm guard passing or if I'm in, top position. I definitely use my weight against my opponent. I think it's pretty important for me, for my game anyways.
Mm. And do you see your game being evolving, like as you started even from blue belt? Do you think your game has evolved from when you got your blue belt to right now, to where you're at now?
Yeah, for sure. I've learned, I think the biggest thing that I've been working on with blue belt was just my transitions, right? Getting from one position to another position. So how can I go from side control to take the back? How can I go from the back to get the armbar? How can I go from here to here? Working on those transitions and setting up your opponent to help you get into that transition. That's what I've been really working on the past couple years.
That's great, man, and that's cool because that's just going to keep your progression going with this jiu-jitsu stuff. And I've learned a lot in my experience, and I just can't wait to see what else I can learn, man. Especially when I start, consistently going even more. Now I go about 2 to 3 times as much as I can, but if I'm able to make it 3-4 times, maybe, I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to getting choked out more days of the week. Why not? Right.
Right. Definitely.
So we got about a few minutes left, and actually I want to take these few minutes to see if you actually have anything to say to anybody out there, any shout outs, or even if you have any tips, advice, or anything you would like to get out there. It's your time to shine, man. It's your time to shine. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, if you're early on training, it's like you said, man, just consistency, keeping on and keeping going to class and keep learning and showing up and being present, and training hard. Don't just show up and half-ass it. Don't sit on the wall during live rolls, get in there,
get to work, man.
Yeah, get your ass
get in there. Yep.
You're tired. Good. Freaking get in there and get more tired because, when you come to class next week, you're not going to get tired like that anymore. And if you keep doing that, you'll get better. So don't give up. It's all in consistency and just showing up.
Yeah, definitely is, man. Definitely is. It's just the consistency of keep going. And what about your real estate, man? Anything you got to say to the people that are looking into buying a house or maybe looking into finding your Facebook? Because I will have it in the description. I'll have your link in there as far as where your workshop is. I'll have your Facebook link on there. So go ahead. Send me over anything, man. Anything you want on there, I'll put it on there for you, man. Because it's really great with what you're doing, man. As far as whether it's this workshop you're doing, or even any of those videos that you do with the local shops here, which is great. And then I believe your wife also opened up hers.
Yeah. So she's
awesome.
Had her salon open for a couple of years. And so, that's eyelash extension. They do facials, all kinds of beauty supply stuff. So if any women are out there that want to get that done, definitely Silverly Beauty, they're in Manteca, hit them up. As far as real estate, if it doesn't matter where you are for that homebuyer workshop, the same concepts apply pretty much every state. So anyone can come and join in, log in. There's plenty of room in the virtual chat room. So not going to kick anyone out if just because you live in Florida or something like that. And if anyone has any questions, or if you are looking to buy your house or maybe sell your house, definitely hit me up, and I'd love to sit down and chat.
Sweet. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, thanks again for doing this, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you coming out and actually talking about your experience with it. Thank you again for your service in our military. It's actually very greatly appreciated, man. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. You're a great dude. I really hope we get to talk again. Maybe by the next time we talk, maybe I'll be a little bit higher up in my jiu-jitsu to where I can have a chance to go against you. But we'll definitely have to roll. Definitely have to roll soon, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to try and make it out to, I don't know if you make it out on Sundays to Stockton, but sometimes every now and then.
I work Sundays, man. I try to go Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, I try. But any Sunday I do get off though, I do my best to try and go. If I get a Sunday off for some random reason, I'll show up, man. I'm there. Okay. I'll be there. You know, I
Yeah,
try to
cool.
get the best work in. So I'll let you know beforehand if I do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely
for
let you
sure.
know beforehand, man.
Cool.
Thanks again for doing this, man.
All
Appreciate
right,
having
bro.
you here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.